Welcome to Entrepreneurs International Network, where entrepreneurs learn, network, and grow. I'm Roger Killen, the organizer. Today, Kieron Sweeney is training us on how to drive sales to 7 figures by transforming our inner dude. Kieron, I've got 3 questions that will help us to get to know you personally. Question number 1, what's the best decision that you have ever made?
Best decision. Oh, when I became a public speaker, it was something that at age 31, I went to a seminar in Laguna Beach, California, and Bob Proctor was a speaker, and Mark Victor Hansen and Jack Canfield and Dr. Lee Poulos and a few others. And it was really my first experience with motivational speaking and mentoring and stuff like that. And I took that as fuel for my career, and I quit my job. I went home, quit my job. 2 weeks later, I was an entrepreneur, and I just kind of dove in. And throughout the years, I always thought it would be kind of cool to be a speaker, and I loved helping people and motivating people. And then I sold my business in 2005, and then in 2006, someone said, Peak Potentials, Harvey Eckers' company is hiring. You should apply. You'd be a really good speaker. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I'm ready yet. I haven't done enough. I haven't had enough success. I haven't had all the excuses that, the subconscious mind comes up when you fear something. And so, but I went for it, and I went through some courses, and then took their train the trainer course. And then I applied to be a speaker and eventually got accepted. There's more to that story. It's part of my talk tonight, but best decision was becoming a public speaker, because it opened me up to a brand new world. I've traveled all over the world doing speaking engagements, and I've met, hundreds of thousands of people. And it just, for me, it was like, it's probably the pinnacle of my life. I often refer to it as the gold medal in my career. So
Okay, lovely. Second question, we each have but one life. What impact would you like to have with yours?
Well, I think I'm living it. I'm really, when I go back to being a child, I was always kind of had this intuitive ability just to help and counsel people. It just was always in me. And so now I'm mentoring business people and helping people like break through that ceiling of complexity and get their business over to 7 figures, 8 figures. Helping a company go public right now. So I'm kind of living it, but I do want to do more humanitarian work. I'm kind of coming to that stage in life now where I do want to start focusing more in that direction. So, but I think I want to take my speaking skills and become a real advocate for change in specific areas in hunger and the environment. I just think it's atrocious the way our world exists today. And, but it's probably what I'm going to do is use that speaking skill to become more of an advocate.
Beautiful. Sounds to me like you've got a TEDx talk inside you.
All right, let's get going.
Third question. What was the biggest challenge you've ever had to overcome?
Well, I'd say I had to make a decision at age 31. I started a business, and I was doing really, really well. And it was kind of like, I'm still letting people in here. It's kind of like,
I've taken over that.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah.
It was kind of like I went into the business world with no business experience, but I was excited. And I had bought the patent to a ski product, and I had very early success. I did over $500,000 in sales, age 28. And I had no sales experience whatsoever. I was excited about something. That's all it was. And then the economy crashed in 1991, and all of my customers started going bankrupt. People weren't paying me, and my business started to, domino effect. And so I went from making like $500,000 in revenue to finding myself $80,000 in debt because I had to buy inventory and all that. And I had to I was running out of cash. And so my dad called me. He said, why don't you move home for a year and get yourself back together? I'm like, what? 31? Move back home? Are you crazy? But I was struggling to pay my rent. It was really tough, and the economy was really bad. It was really, really bad. And so, feeling like a loser, I just went home, and, within a year, I got myself back together. Within 2 years, I was back out on my own. And within 8 years, I was a millionaire. So
that sounds like quite a challenge. Lovely. Well done. Participants, type any questions you've got into the chat, and I'll pose them in batches to Kieron during his talk. Now, you're going to be sent a link to the recording of Kieron's training, and I hope to do that within a few hours. But I nevertheless encourage you to take notes, even though you're going to get a video recording, because the very act of taking notes will help you absorb by as much as 30%. Kieron, are you ready to knock our socks off? Because
yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay.
Take it away. It's all yours.
All right. Thank you, Roger. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in North America. I'm Kieron Sweeney. I'm known as the strategic mentor, as a business professional advisor, former public speaker, traveled all over the world doing public speaking, had a great success in that field, mentored hundreds of thousands of people, led courses and talks all over the world, and just lived an incredible life for about 5 or 6 years in that. And then I transitioned into running a business academy school in Vancouver, working with entrepreneurs. And then suddenly last year, of course, March 2020, everything changed. So we had to shut the school down. And it's just, ever since then, it's just been another journey. It was that time in life when you had to pivot and figure out what you're going to do. And so I just really just focused on consulting. And today I mentor CEOs. All of them are, high 7-8 figure companies. And I really enjoy it. And it's amazing how many people out there that are already successful still need a lot of help. And they need it business-wise, they need it personally, they have challenges in life, and they need somebody they can rely on in a confidential manner that can really help guide them. So today I'm working, I have a client here down in Newport Beach right now, working with a client who's a billionaire. I've got a client in Montreal who's the CEO of a biotech company, and I'm actually a part of that company now. And then there's a IT guy in Toronto. I've got film producers. I've got directors, actors. I mean, it's quite varied, the type of people I work with. So you can, you can go to my website and see stories. And I've even Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank. I've been, we kind of like mentor each other. So he's been a great alignment in my life. But one thing I'm going to get into this talk about the mindset, which is really what my specialty is. But, I just want to encourage all of you to just never be afraid to reach out and get a hold of somebody. I've made some very high level contacts in my life, everything from very successful multi-millionaires, billionaires, presidents. So like I'm just not afraid to do it. And you'll find that people will be kind of amazed that you had the courage to even reach out to them. So, not everybody's going to be as welcoming as some, but you'll find that people will, they like to be contacted by people, and don't be afraid to offer your service to people. So that's me, but success, it wasn't always that way. As I said, I struggled early in business, had immediate success, and then had to really figure it out, get my act together. And what really helped me was the training, like being mentored by guys like Bob Proctor became my coach. He wasn't even known back then. He was in Toronto, where I was living at the time, and he became a coach and a mentor in my life. And eventually he became world famous because of The Secret. But I've had those people in my life. Jack Canfield has been a mentor of mine, and I can still call him up and talk to him. You know, these are people I met, 30 years ago, over 30 years ago. So it's important to maintain those relationships. When I met Roger, I went to a dinner one night for speakers, and I sat across the table from Roger, and we got to know each other. We went out for a coffee, and next thing you know, I'm doing a TED Talk. So, networking, working with people, never being afraid to position yourself in front of people, just do it always and make a point of it. It's part of your own marketing in your career. So what I want to do is I come from the world of speaking, where usually I'm standing, here I'm sitting, and I love to interact with people while I'm talking. So I would like to interact with you, and I'd like you to, when I ask you something, I'd like you to really engage. Like, don't sit there and say nothing. I'd like you to engage, because the more I know you, the more I can help you in this short 50 minutes we have left. So it's really important that you're part of this talk. So my style of training is interactive, working with you. So I'm going to ask some questions, and I'd like you just to pop them in the chat box. And somebody said, bless you too. So let's get going. So what I'd like all of you to do is tell me in the next 50 minutes, what do you want to get out of this? You all came here because you read something that you thought might be able to help you if you participate in this talk. And before I go on, because once I get going, I may forget to do this, but for showing up, I always believe we reward people for showing up. Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern time, I'm going to do a 3-hour complimentary mentoring, and you're welcome to join it. There's no cost. Just email me after the talk if you want to be a part of it, and I will send you the Zoom link. And so my email is here right on the screen. It's Kieron@KieronSweeney.com. Just make sure you take a note of that and email me. So it'll be 9 o'clock Saturday, 3 hours. It's going to be interactive. You're going to get to know people. And here's the other thing. You might just show up to something and make a contact that this person can help you. And often that's what happens in these types of events. So it's a complimentary 3 hours. It helps me get to know you, and then I will offer you something at the end, because most people follow up with me and say, well, hey, you didn't offer. I want to work with you. How do I work with you? And I will make an offer, and if you want to align with me, I can do that. And oftentimes too, I can really help you just because of my network and put you in touch with the right people. So let's get going. So what do you want to get out of this? So in the chat box, if you could just write what you want to get out of it. I'm looking to receive help to grow my wellness business, both online and in person. Okay, good. So wellness is a $1 trillion industry, and all you have to do is find a micro niche in that wellness industry, not a niche, a micro niche. So you got to get really specific. All right. So, but that helps me, because when I'm doing my talk, I'll be able to refer to things like this. I've been hoping to learn to be able to bro out with complete strangers. Okay. That's interesting. So bro out means like, just, you want to have this, if I'm reading that correctly, you want to have the confidence to just connect with strangers. It's interesting you say that. I'm sitting down here in Newport Beach, and I've been in and out of meetings, but most of my time here has been free time. So I've been sitting at a cafe working, and I positioned myself in a strategic area in this cafe, and I have met so many people, and I just sit there and I've been talking all day to people and making connections. And it's remarkable. If you just want to just talk to people, I always say, ask questions, then listen, ask questions, listen, ask questions and listen, and just keep asking people questions. And that's how you'll get over that. That's how you'll become that. What did you call it? Bro out. So you can bro out that way, but that's really good. And it's just, this goes to our talk today. It's all about confidence. Okay, looking to get clients for an advertising agency. Great. There's a great lady in New York I can help you with. She can help you. Negotiating discounts or adequate fee, regardless as credible influencer. Never give a discount. Never, ever give a discount. What is a discount? It means you can't sell it. It's on sale. We got to clear it out. It's not worth it. So you never discount. What you do is you add value, add value, add value, more value. Make your price worth. They can't say no to it. That's what you have to do. It's always about the value. So, I mean, I get clients who pay me $25,000, but I give them value. One client made $300,000 because of 1 hour with me, because I gave him the decision he needed. He didn't know, he was stuck and it was a negotiation. I said, all you got to do is do this. It's easy. Just do that. Watch what happens, and boom. So, you know, it's pretty simple to achieve success when you know that you can instantly guide people in the right direction. And I think a lot of you might be in businesses where you're doing this kind of helping. But yeah, come on Saturday and I'll help you more with that negotiating and show you how to do it. Where should I be living in the US if I want to grow my business? I live in California and it's stifling. Well, the internet, you know, allows us. I mean, I live in Vancouver, right? I mean, most of my business is outside of Vancouver. So I just drive through the internet and, you know, today, you know, post. I have clients all over the world because I post, and I just build an image and just put messaging out there. It's really, you can live anywhere. You don't have to be in any part of the world today. It's like, I mean, it depends what your business is. If it's a physical brick and mortar business, then, you know, we need to talk about that. But it's, you know, for me, it's about the internet. I mean, here I am with this business training academy got shut down by COVID. And so boom, what do? Go online. I can't teach the same way, but, you know, I can certainly mentor. I'm just getting my coaching business back up and running as a side gig. So for now, I want to learn and get everything on it. Come Saturday. All right. So look, I don't call myself a coach, but I'm a public speaker, and I call myself more of a mentor, because, you know, there seems to be like millions of coaches all out there. But if you want to guide, mentor people, and you have a specific niche that you're really good at, just become known for that. You have to become known for what that is and what that gift is. Okay, I'm going to move on now. There's a lot. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody putting comments. I was just reading one about rent and houses. So, but what I'll do is let's get more into the mindset. So really pay attention. As Roger said, take notes, because I'm going to give you some really good, juicy stuff tonight. So let's talk about, this talk is about your inner dude, right? It's a kind of a cool term I came up with, right? Inner dude. People, it's relatable. You know, I'm 61. A lot of my people that I'm talking to these days are in their 30s, and they all say dude, right? My kids say dude. So I decided to come up with the term inner dude. But your inner dude is your mindset. It's your belief system. It's who you are inside. You know, does everybody raise your hand if you have this constant ongoing battle with your mind? Yeah, it's always the doubts and the fears and the should I's and what ifs and all of that. We all have it. It's normal, but it's just, you have to control it, right? Your thoughts are, you have to be in total control of your thoughts. So with mindset, belief system, inner dude, this is what drives. Now, when I started to think about writing a book, I was trying to get really clear on what is my message going to be, and belief system really spoke to me, and it came up a lot. And I remember when I started my first business, if some of you were here early, I was talking about the fact that I had no business experience, no sales training experience, nothing. I was just excited. I was really excited. I bought the patent to a ski product and I was excited. I went to ski shows. I stood there for 3-4 days demonstrating it, selling it. And I was just making cash, tons of cash. And I remember having to come back into Canada, and you're not supposed to bring more than $10,000. Well, there was me, my mom, my dad, and a friend, and we had all of us were carrying $9,999 because we had so much cash. And so it's like I was just doing great, and it was just because I was excited. And that's the most important thing. You have to be excited about your business, which means you're passionate about it, right? I mean, I'm passionate about what I do. I love it. I just love it. There's nothing else to do. And when the world comes back and we can have speaking engagements again, I'll be out there promoting myself again and doing stage talks and more motivation and leadership talks. But that's what I do. But let's talk about you. You're inner dude. The first thing you have to do as a business owner is you have to be the leader. Okay? You got to show up as the leader for yourself, the leader for your clients, the leader for your community, the leader for your family. I'm well known in Vancouver because I put myself out there and I've become a leader. I've become known. But what is leadership? Well, there's two components: ambition and drive. Okay, leadership is ambition and drive. Now, there's a big difference between the two. You can have ambition, but without the drive, it's really hard to succeed. So it's really important to understand that distinction. Ambition and drive, they're interrelated. You can have the ambition, but you got to have the drive. You have to be willing to get up at 5 a.m. and do what it takes to become successful. Do your meditation, do your vision board, do your thinking, do your exercise. I get up and what's the first thing you think I do in the morning? Who can guess? What's the first thing I do in the morning?
Meditate.
See, I knew someone would say that. I have a coffee. That's the first thing I do in the morning is I have a coffee because it sparks me up. And then after that, I have a green juice. And then after that, I eat nut butter on toast because nut butter fuels the brain. It's brain food. And it really gets me going. My meditations happen throughout the day. I take breaks and I just sit there and I'll meditate. My meditations are 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that's it. But it allows me to clear the mind and really get focused on what I want to do. I use meditation more as just kind of a grounding. Because when I wake up, I don't need to meditate. I'm good. I wake up, I'm good. I'm rested. I'm ready to go. And then I work out every day. I have a Peloton and I work out on the Peloton, and it's a great community. It's probably the best workouts I've ever had. And it's just an amazing way to stay in shape. I go for walks. I have a dog. I take my dog and run my dog, 2 to 3 times a day. These are things that I do. But this helps me stay focused on the drive because I need to balance life, but I have to drive. I love promoting and selling. It's just what I'm good at. And then when I work with my clients, I'm really just helping them promoting and selling too. And so it's just reinforcing all of that. So you have to have that ambition and drive and to be the leader. And a true successful entrepreneur is known as a leader. Get out into the community and be known for what you do. Speak up, go do talks. If you don't know how to do public talks, get over it. Just talk. It's easy. You'll get better at it. I promise you. So the question is for you is this: what do you want to become and what price are you willing to pay? So somebody jump in, unmute yourself. Tell me, what do you want to become and what price are you willing to pay? Who wants to jump in? Brent Baker, I'm picking on you. You're right in the center of my screen, so I just took you. What do you want to become, Brent? And what are you willing to pay?
I'll tell you what, this is awesome. Thank you again for everybody's time. Obviously, I'm looking at purchasing a business with a partner I've known since the age of about 4, and we've been successful in our careers. So what do you want to become? I want to become an entrepreneur. I made a lot of people a lot of money over the years, and we're kind of done with that. But what's really cool, and the thing that resonated for me, really quick rewinding, is how are you going to give back? And he and I are both aligned in that. You know, we're former athletes that love it to death, not because we're old jocks, because we like developing and being around people. And so that's fun to see. But long story short, looking to purchase a business, and we've known these guys for many years. We both respect each other. And what are we willing to pay? I'll tell you, we paid a lot over the years. Left on Easter Sunday to go meet with clients, and we're really excited to do that for ourselves and for our customers and our vendors.
Nice. Oh, great. Well, it's actually smart to buy an existing business because,
Yep.
you know, the startup stage is challenging. I mean, you're going to be taking on different challenges, and hopefully these sellers are going to stay on for a while. But
Exactly. Yep.
yeah. And you know, it's good that it'd be good if they stay involved for a year and then move more into an advisory capacity and then stay on the board or something like that. But, you know, buying an existing business is smart, because if you love the space and the business has success and has good numbers, then it's just, you know, really just carrying it, making sure that you guys can carry it and keep it going. And you know, does it have employees?
Yep. It's a small marketing firm. So to your point, could we poach away and find it's a marketing firm. So could we poach away our manufacturers lines? Could we already have the customer base? Yes, but you're exactly right. And, you know, for everybody else in the group, I know we've thought about it for years, starting our own thing. The reason we're purchasing this business, to build on what you just said, is buy and build. And there's a couple angles that they haven't pressed over the years, because guys they were harvesting, they're ready to retire, and we're well positioned in our mid 30s to be like, all right, here's 3 ideas we learned in our capacity in our businesses and how we know we can grow and build and leverage our contacts. So to your point, Kieron, I think that's for anybody out here, kind of, we're on the front end of this. That's why we're here. But long story short is, before you start, maybe you buy and build around it, because you have that motor and that transmission to build off of. And perhaps even if you have these 3 ideas, you can build around that with that base. I think that's powerful.
Yeah, very good. Okay. So the one thing I'm picking up on you is belief, and which is my next point. So belief in you and your ability to succeed, and knowing that you will be successful is fundamental. It's critical in business success. You have to see yourself as already successful. And we're going to dive into this a bit. The only belief that matters is the belief in yourself. That's it. The belief that you will succeed and you will get better. You know, part of being an entrepreneur is getting better all the time, making a better you, making your business better, and just always working on you. So if you have a big dream, then you've got to be that dream. You can't say, I want to be this. I met a lady yesterday and I asked her a question. Oh, she held up a book about, you know, having that big dream, and she was reading it. And I just asked her, what does she really want to do? And she said, I just want to really help people. And she worked in physiotherapy, and she works with stroke patients, and her life is about serving others. It's not about building a business, it's about serving others. But it was really interesting that she was reading this book about building your dream or achieving your dreams, but her dream is just to help people, which was pretty awesome. So it's quite serendipitous that I met her, because, you know, these are the type of people that often show up in life when I'm traveling. So so what is your big dream? Like, someone else just jump in quickly. Tell me, maybe I'll just pick someone. So Herman Tucker, what's your big dream?
So I'm an entrepreneur. I built my own product, and I am in the process of getting it to the next stage of marketing and creating business around it. So my biggest dream, rather than saying what I want to become, my biggest thing that I want to see is that I want to see what I created in the hands of millions of people. And I think it will result in me making money, and that will be nice. But I definitely want to see, regardless of money, I do want to see it in the hands of lots of people, lots of people using what I create.
That's really cool. Is that what you're showing us? Oh no, that was somebody else. So I just saw this 3D model thing going there. So that's it. So everybody has to have their dream. And so really be clear on what it is, because having that big dream is it's kind of like you're laser locked on it, and you will achieve it. Everything that I've dreamt and wanted, I've achieved. And it's just by planting a seed of thought in your mind and nurturing it and working towards it. So what stops us? Usually it's the conditioned mind. There's all of these, I'm not good enough thoughts running in your head, or nobody likes me, or people don't trust me, or I can never make a lot of money, or all of these. This is all this nonsense going in our brains from preconditioning as we grew up. But what you have to do is constantly monitor your thoughts, because your thoughts send an energy field right through your body immediately. And that thought is going to create an instant emotional feeling. And that emotional feeling is going to determine what the next action is, or inaction. And so every time you have a thought regarding anything, believe that you can achieve it. Believe that you can become a millionaire if you want to become a millionaire. Believe that you can take this amazing product that you've engineered and bring it to market. You may not know how to drive sales, but there's people out there that can help you drive sales. And so whatever it is you want to become, you have to have that deep inner belief. And it's a constant daily reminder to yourself that my thoughts are my book is called Thoughts, and it's the most powerful energy out there. So everything that's been created on this planet started with a thought, right? Everything was a thought. And it's just, we're part of all that energy. So that thought creates an inner emotional feeling. You're going to take action, or you're not going to take action. And if you really believe in yourself, your dreams, what you want to create in life, you're going to get the results. You're going to get the results. So, but once you understand that, then your belief in yourself will then drive the thoughts, which creates the drive of ambition. So your belief in yourself, and that you will be successful, that you will achieve, that drives thoughts, which drives the feelings and energy to create the action, and that drives the ambition. Does that make sense to everybody? Just nod your head. All right. I can see all of you here. So next, this is so true. This is so true. You don't have to be the smartest person. Was anybody here the smartest student in class? Was anybody like, I don't know what happened to all the smart people when I went to school, but they didn't seem to do anything in life. Do you know that most multimillionaires never finish high school? You see, it's the people with the drive and the ambition and the dreams and the desires. They're the ones that succeed. You don't have to have a degree to succeed. It helps. I have a degree. It didn't do me any good. It's in political science. What am I doing in political science? Nothing. But it was a piece of paper. I had fun at university. But what I got out of university was I got really great life lessons. And I won't go into it because the stories, I don't want to digress, but I did some things at university that outside of academics, it was more about me participating in student councils and athletics and things like that. And those parallels met up with me in business eventually, because I was an initiator. I made things happen at university. So you don't have to be the smartest in the room. I was not the smartest kid in school. But here's what you do have to be in business. You have to be prepared. In your career, if you have a job, you have to be prepared. You have to be the best prepared person. The one thing Bob Proctor taught me, he said, there's two things you do in sales. You have to be willing to be in front of two people before 9 o'clock every day. And you have to have a fantastic presentation. And your presentation in business is fundamental. You must be well prepared. And it has to be so good that it's very hard to say no to you. So being prepared, whether it's in business or your job, your career, you have to be the most prepared. You don't have to be the smartest person, because the person who is most prepared looks the smartest. The other thing is you have to be so good at what you do that people cannot deny you. Now, this is from personal experience. I had to be so good in front of various CEOs that they could not say no to me. And that's how I've gotten most of my clients who are multimillionaires, billionaires. I mean, you know, how did I get Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank to be my business partner? Well, because I believed he would be. And I just knew he couldn't deny me, because I had something that he was familiar with that was going to help him. And that's how I became a partner with him. So, and now he's an advisor. I'm an advisor to him. Let me tell you this story. You know, earlier before we got started, we were chit-chatting, and I talked about, and I think, you know, Roger asked what was the best decision I ever made. It was to become a public speaker. But when I was going through that initial journey of becoming a public speaker, I believed I was good. I had that inner belief that I was good. And I was practicing hard, and I was learning hard material, and I was becoming really good at it. And then it was time to actually stand up in front of him and deliver a talk. And I wasn't in maybe 3 minutes. And he said, stop, 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 stop. And I stopped. And I got all nervous. And he goes, you know, I've been watching you for the last 2 days, practicing, doing this. And I really like you, but you're really boring. And I went, right? And so, and I thought I was out. There was, I think there was about 15 people that were vying for about 3 spots. And he said, you know, I just don't think this is for you. I just don't think this is for you. You're just, no. And I'm like, inside, I'm like, right? And because I knew I could do it, because I had that inner belief. So I went back home, I got over myself, and, you know, all of that old programming came up of I'm not good enough, and he didn't like me, you know, right? And all of a sudden I just stepped into it. I said, you know what, I'm going to show you, because like, this has always come up in my life. Whenever someone put me down, it made me drive harder, right? And it's like when I didn't get a sale, I drove harder to get the sale. May not be with the same client, but or same prospect, but it was with the next one. And so it's always about, you know, no, I can do this. And so that inner dude has to be 100%, I can do this. So I went back a month later and stood on this stage with all the finalists who are vying for these positions to be a public speaker. And I get up and I get on stage and I just ripped into this talk, and he went, stop. And I went, oh, frig. And he looked at everybody and he went, do you see what he's doing? This is a public speaker. Do you understand do you see his energy? Do you understand what he's doing? Watch what he's doing, because none of you are doing what he's doing. And guess what? I was chosen as the #1 speaker. And I had a great career for about 6 years in that company. I had to stop because it was a lot of travel and but you know what? I had that belief. And when you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you. And I became the example in the room of who to follow. And so that's what I said earlier, you have to be so good that they cannot deny you. Right? Your business has to be so great that they can't say no. And all of you can do it. Why can all of you do it? Why can all of you do it? Because you're a human being and you're no different from anybody else. The only thing that's different from you and me and Roger and who else is here? Lee, Kenneth, Ami, Nick, Carissa. The only thing that's different is your mind, your thinking. Because you're a human being, we all look a little different, but you take the skin off and we all look the same, right? So everything's up here. So this is what we need to work on. It's just all the mindset and believing that you are that great person, you have the ability to be successful and that you will be successful. So another story, I like to tell stories. When the pandemic hit, there was a lot of activity going on in the world around medical equipment and supplies and things like that. And one of my clients is in that space, and I was helping him. His business went from like, a couple of million a year to like a couple of million a month. And all of a sudden his business was taking off. So I was helping with strategy. But I eventually, through that, those channels, I met this billionaire. And the billionaire started to develop a relationship with me and said, I like how you think. I like how you work. Are you interested in doing some work with us? And I said, sure. Like, what do you want to do? So we got in a long discussion, but now here I am in down Newport Beach and I'm mentoring a billionaire. And it's like, I'm helping him grow his business. So it's like, put yourself out there and believe that you're as good as anybody else, because you are. And it's only your inner dude disbeliefs that are stopping you. So that belief that you can be great. One of the things that Roger Kieron's always impressed me about is the fact that he went out and got a license for TEDx, gave the opportunity to so many people in Vancouver, and now is going forward and is training people to be a TED speaker and guaranteeing them a spot on a TED stage. I mean, like, that's happened in what, 5 years, Roger? Maybe 5-6 years. He's built an enormous database. He's a networker. It's just, and he loves what he does, and he's good at it. So it's just that inner belief is ingrained in him. And the one thing about Roger is he shows up every week on Tuesday. Every week on Tuesday, he's doing this, never misses. So consistency is very important in business as well. So what's going to happen when you put yourself out there and you have that inner belief that you're so great that nobody can say no to you? The world is going to bend to your efforts, because you're putting an energy out there, and the world is going to bend towards you, and you start to now attract those types of clients in your life, those people you want to have in your life. And then people are going to start to follow you because you're showing the drive, and you're so good that you can't be ignored. Promotion is everything in business. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, doing talks, writing books, doing whatever it takes to be successful. It's just fundamental. But let's be realistic. Is everything going to work? No, everything isn't going to work. You're going to have challenges, but this is where the growth happens. You know, we're going to make mistakes. You know, I made mistakes. I've made, lots of mistakes. You know, I've lost deals. I've screwed up. I've said the wrong thing. But I've done a lot of great things. I've done a lot of things right. And so that's what's important. So, but make sure that those mistakes are never overlooked. You have to, what's the lesson in it? What's the learn? And what was the result you got from that mistake? Because in that mistake is a silver lining, and it's going to show you that how you can be more successful. And just because you had a failure or a mistake in business or whatever, it doesn't mean you're no good. It just means you got to do it again and just keep going until you reach that success. So being in business, wanting to be the best in your career, in a job, whatever it is, you have to be a learner. You have to be able to always grow. I mean, everyone that shows up on these events every week are people that want to learn and grow, because you get one nugget of information out of a 1 hour talk that could just change your business. Just like my client made $300,000 just with one decision. So, and this being that learner is what helps build your own self-esteem and makes you better. And, you know, there was a saying that I heard once, I can't remember the guy, but you might remember him. Be, do, have. And what that means is be the person you want to be in life versus doing what you have to do to become that person. Does that make sense? I think I said it right. But basically just be that person. Be in the energy of that successful person. Put yourself out there as that successful person. You are, a lot of people have this doubt about themselves that I'm not good yet. I have to show success in something. I have to be successful before I put myself out there. Just like when I was wanting to be, somebody said you should be a public speaker. I said, oh no, I'm not ready. I haven't achieved enough in life. And they're like, no, what are you talking about? You've got more confidence. You've done so much in life. You're so worldly. You've this. I said, yeah, but I still want to, I think I need to make like $100 million before I become a public speaker. Now, you know what? Most public speakers haven't even come close to that. So it's, what you have to do is really just be the person you want to become. Just be it now, and stay in that energy, and seeing yourself as that very successful entrepreneur. So I'd like you to write something right now. Everybody take their pen and answer these two questions. What do you value most about yourself? So write that down. What do you value most about yourself? And the next question is, what is your mindset built around? What is your mindset built around? So take a minute and just write that, and I'll take 1 or 2 shares. So what do you value yourself for? What do you value most in yourself? And then what is your mindset built around? All right. So put your unmute and jump in. That's the easiest way to do this.
Kieron?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So
What's your name?
I value ability, and my mindset would be filled with abundance.
All right.
Mentality.
Good. Well, sorry, could you say the first one again? What do you value?
Ability.
Ability. So you have the ability.
Yeah.
And you have an abundant mindset.
Yes.
Gotcha. Thank you. I don't see you on my screen. So what was your name?
Daryl.
Daryl. Thank you, Daryl. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead, Jason.
My mindset right now, my value is willing to work hard for what I want to achieve. My mindset is overwhelming because I want to do quite a bit, and I'm not sure what to focus on.
You know, That's great. I'm so glad you said that, because focus is everything, right? You know, as entrepreneurs, sometimes there is a tendency to want to do too many things. And one of the greatest lessons I did learn in life is I couldn't do 5 businesses at once. I could only do one. And you have to do what pulls your heart, right? And that's where you need to go and meditate on and figure out, what is it that really I can get up in the morning. And here's a great way. If money wasn't an issue and you didn't have to earn it, what would you do? And that really helps you get clear on what you're passionate about, because often we're making decisions of what to do in life around money. But if money wasn't an issue, what would you do? And when you find that, you'll find that you'll probably make a lot more money doing that, because you're in love with it, right? I mean, it's nothing like when I teach this in a lot of my courses. It's like, you have to be in love with what you're doing, right? You have to be so passionate and in love with it. It's almost, it's kind of the same feeling as when you meet someone and fall in love. It's like that amazing feeling, right? Especially men, like we get all, oh, I'm confident now, and I found my woman, and then you have this energy, and it's like, it's powerful, right? And you have to feel like that, right? And you have to feel that you are everything to that business, and you're inseparable. That's what I'm looking for. You're inseparable from that business, right? Like there's nothing more I want to do in the world than just stand up on a stage and talk. Like, I love it, right? And the reason I love it is because I see people having great results. You know, I once posted something on Facebook, and I said, where did you meet me and what did you learn? And it's probably the biggest response I ever got. And it was just kind of something I did randomly one day. And all of a sudden I'm saying, I met you at this seminar, I met you here, and this is what I learned. My life has been this. And it was kind of cool. All of a sudden I had like 500 testimonials. So it was really good. So really be the person you want to be, and just be passionate. Okay, so a leader must become, now this is important, please write it down. You must become anti-fragile. What does that mean? Well, don't let anything bother you. Don't let what other people think bother you, or what other people say. You know, don't let a failure get you down. It might hurt you for 24 hours, but then, you know, get over it, right? Every time you encounter something new or make a mistake, you must value yourself more because of that mistake. And you must value yourself more knowing that you need to remove all inadequacies from your mind, because they don't really exist other than the fact that it's a little story that's running in your head, because most people are far greater than they believe. I said this to the person I was talking to yesterday. It's like, and do this. Just pick 10 people who know you and ask them, you know, just write what you think about me. Tell me what you feel about me. And you'll be amazed at what people will say. You know, you might get the odd person who wants to joke around and say, well, you're a goof and you're this and that, but most people are going to say really nice things about you. And so most people see you much better than you see yourself. So when you look in the mirror, and what do you see? You know, most people look in the mirror and they go, ugh, is that a pimple? Right? We look at our inadequacies, what's not good, you know, and, you know, there's no point in it. So the more you love yourself, the more you feel great about yourself, the more, you know, every time you're doing something in your business or your career that's impacting a life in a positive way, that's success. You know, you go to work or you have a customer and you help them that day, and it's like, that's success. That person thinks you're great because you made an impact on their life in a positive way that day. So always look at what's great about you and not what's lacking, because what's lacking is immaterial. It doesn't really matter. If you want to be a great artist, be a great artist. If you want to be a great engineer, be a great engineer. If you want to be a great CEO, be a great CEO. If you want to have, if you want to be like my son, my oldest son, Liam, he plays hockey, and he came to my empowerment camp at age 14, and he didn't have the inner belief at the time to think he could make a career in hockey. Well, guess what? It's 10 years later. He's played junior A, he's played in Sweden, and now he's on a university hockey team, all because he got the message, inner belief. It's your decision. You just got to believe that you can be what you want to be. So you also must align your behaviors with the identity of who you want to become. So what are the behaviors of the successful person you want to become? What does that successful technician do every day? What does that successful baseball player do every day? What does that successful CEO do every day? Mirror, model successful people. You know, people, there's lots of people in everyone's career who are successful doing what you're doing. Look at what they're doing that's successful and model them. Just copy them, because it's working, and you'll find that you'll see a big shift in yourself. So back to the growth. I got to bring this to a close soon, but again, Saturday, 9 o'clock Pacific, 12 Eastern, I'm going to be doing a 3-hour talk. It'll be more interactive, and I'll be working closely with whoever shows up. But I want you to really understand that, you know, everything that you do, success is just a mindset. It's just program yourself. There's one thing I want to do here, because it is important. There's a law called the law of entrainment. The law of entrainment. And everything in life, as you know, is energy. And that to which you want in life, a person, a thing, money, everything is energy. You want more of it, you've got to get into the alignment of the energy of that to which you want. And what the law of entrainment tells us is that when you become in aligned vibration with that to which you want, you're going to magnetically attract it to you. It has to happen because it's the law. So by thinking, meditating on things, always envisioning on everything that you want in life, and removing the fears. Here's something you can take to the bank, okay? Everything that you believe you can have, you will have, and everything that you believe you can't or will not have, you will not get. Where do you want to put your energy? Where do you want to put your energy? It's exactly the same. If you believe you can't be it, you're absolutely right. If you believe you can, you're absolutely right. And things don't always happen on your time schedule. So we have to be patient and be willing to know that it's going to take time, but also be willing to be deserving of that success, of that abundance, of the things that you really want in life. And finally, gratitude. You know, gratitude is important for your own psyche. Be grateful. Find something every day. When my kids were growing up, when we were tucking them into bed, we'd say, what are the three things you're most grateful for today? And that's how they went to sleep. And because they went to sleep with the positive mindset of gratitude and being grateful for the things they had. So what are you grateful for today? What are you grateful for what happened today that you're grateful for? You know, pick 3 things every day and just focus on the gratitude of what that is. That's what a leader does, right? Everything I've done here is just, it's what leaders do. And finally, constantly put yourself out in front of people. As a business owner, you have to promote. You have to be out there. You can't be sitting in your office. You can't be just waiting for people to show up. If people don't know you exist, or if they don't know that you have a product or service that can impact and change their life, if they don't know about it, how are you going to help them? But people are going to walk by you every single day, and many people need to know who you are. And the more you put yourself out there, the more people will know. So Roger, I'm right on time, and I just think we should bring it to a close. And so again, if you want to continue Saturday, it's a free workshop from 9 a.m. Pacific. Just email me. I'll send you the Zoom link. But if you want to do it, you got to show up, because that's going to tell you a lot about who you are. So once you make a commitment to something, keep the commitment. All right. So if you can make it Saturday morning, I'll be there. All right. Thank you, Roger. Thank you, everybody.
I have just typed Kieron's email into the chat at Kieron@KieronSweeney.com.
Yep.
That's about as simple as it gets. Kieron, thank you so much for sharing your lifetime of experience in business as an entrepreneur, as a star salesperson. Your thoughts are refreshing, off the cuff. I am sure the audience really appreciated the high level of interactivity. No one could possibly have thought that you were not speaking to him or her. Congratulations on behalf of EIN. I thank you hugely.
Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it.